Good morning, everyone. Today we're back with Harry Potter and the Three Hallows by J.K. Rowling. That's I'm finished at page 109. Let's continue. Chapter 8. The Wedding. 3 o'clock on the following afternoon found Harry, Ron, Fred, and George standing outside the great white marquee in the orchard, waiting the arrival of the wedding guests. Harry had taken a large dose of Polyjuice potion and was now the double of red-headed Muggle boy from the local village, old T. Saint Catchpole, from whom Fred had stolen his using a summoning charm. The plan was to introduce Harry as Cousin Barney and trust to the great numbers of Weasley's relatives to camouflage him. All 4 of them were clutching seating plans so that they could help show people to the right seat. A host of white-robed waiters had arrived an hour earlier, along with a golden-jacketed band, and all of these wizards were currently sitting a short distance away under a tree. Harry could see a blue haze of pipe smoke issuing from the spot. Behind Harry, the entrance to the marquee revealed rows and rows of fragile golden chairs set either side of a long purple carpet. The supporting poles were entwined with white and golden flowers, and Fred and George had fastened an enormous bunch of golden balloons over the exact point where Bill and Flo would shortly become a husband and wife. Outside, butterflies and bees were hovering lazily over the grass and hedgerow. Harry was rather uncomfortable. The Mongol boy, whose appearance he was expecting, was slightly fatter than him, and his dressing robes felt hot and tight in a full glare of summer's day. "When I get married," said Fred, tugging at the collar of his own robes, "I won't be bothered with any of this nonsense. I can all wear what you like, and I'll put a full-body bind curse on Mama until it's all over." "She wasn't too bad in this morning, considering," said George. "Cried a bit about Percy not being here. But who wants him? Oh, blimey, brace yourself. Here they come, too. Look." Brightly colored figures were appearing, one by one, out of nowhere at the distant boundary of the yard. Within minutes, a procession had formed, which began to snake its way through the garden towards the marquee. Exotic flowers and bewitched birds fluttered on the witches' hats, while precious gems glittered from many of the wizards' cravats. A hum of excited chatter grew louder and louder, drowning the sound of the bees as the crowd approached the tent. "Excellent! I think I see a new villain," Cousin said, George craning his neck for a better look. "They'll need help understanding our English customs, or I'll look after them." "Not so fast, luckless," said Fred, and darting past the gaggle of middle-aged witches and heading to the position he had. "Here, permettez monter assistez-vous," to a pair of pretty French girls who giggled and allowed them to escort them inside. George was left to deal with the middle-aged witches, and Ron took charge of Mr. Weasley and old ministry colleague Perkins, while a rather deaf old couple fell to Harry's lot. "Watcher," said a familiar voice as he came out of the marquee again and found Tonks and Lupin at the front of the queue. She had turned blonde for the occasion. Arthur had told us you were the one with the curly hair. Sorry about last night," she added in a whisper, as Harry led them up the aisle. "The ministry is being very anti-werewolf at the moment, and we thought our presence might not do you any favors." "It's fine, I understand," said Harry, speaking more to Lupin than Tonks. Lupin gave him a swift smile, but as they turned away, Harry saw Lupin's face fall again into lines of misery. He did not understand it, but there was no time to dwell on the matters. Hagrid was causing a certain amount of disruption. Having misunderstood Fred's direction, he had set himself not upon the magically enlarged and reinforced seat set aside for him in the back row, but on the 5 seats that now assembled a large pile of golden matchsticks. While Mr. Weasley repaired the damage and Hagrid shouted apologies to everyone who would listen, Harry hurried back to the entrance to find Ron's face with a most eccentric-looking wizard, slightly cross-eyed, with shoulder-length white hair and the texture of candy floss. He wore a cap whose tassel dangled in front of his nose, and robes an eye-watering shade of egg yolk yellow. An odd symbol, rather like a triangular eye, glistened from a golden chain around his neck. Xenophilius Lovegood, he said, extending a hand to Harry. My daughter and I live just over the hill. So kind of the good Weasleys to invite us. But I think you know my Luna, he added to Ron. Yes, said Ron. Isn't she with you? She lingered in the charming little garden to say hello to the gnomes. Such a glorious investigation. How few wizards realize just how much we can learn from the wise little gnomes. Oh, to give them their correct name, the Grindelwald Gardency. Ours do know a lot of excellent swear words, said Ron, but I think Fred and George taught them. Well, I think we'll leave it here, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye!